Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to edit your clips to be super moody. Alright, so let's paint a picture. You took your phone out to location, it's perfect weather, it was raining, it had low cloud, you're in the forest or a lake, and you have all this amazing content, and now you want to make it that much better and more cinematic and more moody. The first thing you do is download InShot Pro, or you download CapCut, as it's the exact same as InShot, but it's actually free. I just prefer InShot. I don't know why. The interface is a lot nicer to me, so I just stick with what I know. So now you've imported your footage after you went on an epic content day and you got some amazing content while it was raining out, and it got low fog, you got the best conditions, and you're ready to edit. This is what I think you should do to make your videos go from here to here. This is what I do in all my videos, so if you do like what you see, then subscribe, I guess. Alright, so for the sake of this video, I went to a lake with some friends to do a cold plunge, and I just took some clips when we were there, and I decided to make it into a video. So these are some cool clips that I got. I'll play it for you really quickly here. So pretty cool, couple clips that I thought would be fun for a video for TikTok or Instagram Reels. But, I just want to edit it to make it a bit more better because this is just completely from the camera. Not shot in log, it's actually shot in 4K 60 on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's probably one of the better phone cameras on the market. So yeah, it looks pretty good, but I definitely want to add some touches to it just to make it that much better. So let's go to filters here on InShot Pro and go to adjustments. So for me, I like to bring down the exposure. On InShot, it says lightness, so this is just the exposure if you're editing on something else. So I like to bring it down, I'm gonna probably bring it down to -40 for this clip. And then contrast, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit to around 15. And then warmth is actually basically a subsection of your white balance. So this is kind of the really warm or really cold. And in different editing softwares, it's basically your white balance. So for me, I'm gonna bring it all the way to -50 because I want it to be nice and moody and blue. And then tint is also included in white balance. So if you're editing on a software, sometimes when you change your white balance, they'll change together. But this one I'm just manually doing. So for me, I think it looks a little green. So if you go left, it's really green, as you can see from my screen. And if you go really right here, it's purple. I think it's a little green for my liking. So I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit on the purple side or the magenta side. And I think that looks good. So just +5. And then now saturation. So I'm gonna bump the saturation up just to bring a more pop in the back with the color there, with the green and the blue water. And then I'm gonna go HSL. HSL, basically you can change the colors of each color that's indicated here. So then saturation, I probably wouldn't do much just because as this footage is already quite blue and just green, it's not really gonna change much when I bring up the blue. Maybe a little bit, maybe I'll add a little bit. And typically when I do edit in InShot or CapCut, I don't like to go crazy with the colors. I don't like to adjust too many of these sliders because I feel like the footage on iPhone or even just from any phone is not gonna adjust well. So I kind of only like to touch maybe 1 or 2 of these colors on these sliders because I don't know, just a personal preference. So now I'm gonna go to shadows and I'm gonna crush the shadows a bit as well. -10, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see before. Oops. See, look at the difference there already, just from before and after already. Looks so much better in my opinion. So then I also like to add about 5% sharpness in all my videos. I don't know why, but I just do, it's just a habit. So I do add about 5% sharpness in InShot. I think that looks pretty good to me. I think the last thing I do sometimes in my footage is I actually just use one of these generic filters, and I think it looks good. So one of my favorite in InShot is actually Cinema 1. Typically when you click these filters, it would automatically go to 100%. So I actually like to bring it down to about 15 to 20, sometimes 30, depending on how it looks. But for this, I feel like I'll go in the middle about 25%. It's just a little bit of a pop, which I like. It just brings a little bit more moodiness to the video, which I really enjoy. I kind of like how that first clip looks. So typically I'll actually just apply to all so it saves me time. So I'll apply to all, and then when I'm on here, see that one looks too dark to me, so I'm actually gonna adjust that, bring the lightness down, probably to there, maybe the contrast a little bit too. Maybe the shadows a little bit. So some of this footage I actually already shot pretty underexposed. You can actually lock your exposure on the iPhone, which is really nice. So I do typically actually keep my exposure pretty low to about -1 at all times. So my footage is already quite dark. So this one also I'd probably go like -15. This one looks good to me. That one looks a little dark maybe. Let's bring that down. Yeah, I think all those clips look really good. As you can see from the before and afters, I'll show you right now, I think they just make a huge difference with editing. I think even without the edits, I think it's still a good video, but if you wanna make it that much better, if you wanna create a mood to your footage, color grading is literally one of the best ways to do it. Obviously, like I said, going on a rainy day, going to a cool location definitely helps, but you know, color grading definitely is a really important aspect of making your footage moody and cinematic. All right, so that was a little rundown on how I edit my iPhone clips to be moody or cinematic. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown of how I edit a little bit. I know I didn't go into too much detail about how I edit and why I decide to do what I do, but I will do more videos on why I do certain things in my editing techniques. But I hope this video did help you a little bit, just to see a step-by-step on how I create it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, then please subscribe. And I'm gonna have a lot more videos coming, so stay tuned.